Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Thursday, May the 20th. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. Place your bets, part 4 with Walmal. This video, like all the other videos, are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and from Walmal's. Walmal, yesterday we ran out of time like we usually do. But I was thinking you could tell the fellow traders, when you place your bet, since your bets, your profits are used to pay your electric bill and all your other bills. You probably have a different mindset. So, what's your mindset when you place your bet?
Well, I'm going to give you a twofold answer on that. In the beginning, it was very, very nerve-wracking. I'm just going to be honest with you. It was very, very nerve-wracking because it was the type of thing where, if this doesn't work out, if this day doesn't work out, this week doesn't work out, it's one of those things where, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for that? Now, obviously, there's money in the bank to go and allow you to get through, because if you're trading with literally, if I don't make money this week, I can't eat next week, then you need to go and fix some other things first. But at the same time, it was very, very nerve-wracking in the beginning, and that's just the reality of it. Now it's just sort of like what I get up and do. And I'm just going to be honest about that. I mean, some people are like, he's crazy. That can't be that way. Well, it really is. It's gotten to that point now where, you get up and, I hope I get the first win of the day, because if the first trade of the day is a win, then I usually have a very good day, because I have a little bit of cushion and I'm able to go and, and be a little bit more selective with my trades and do what I need to do. And it just turns into, a better day. If the first trade is a losing trade, it's a tougher day. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's a tougher day. And sometimes I'll even go as far as to say that if I lose the first one or two trades, I just go and say, you know what? Okay, that's fine. I'm going to reduce my load. I'm not going to go and trade as heavy. I'm obviously not having a very good day. And then more times than not, I'm mad at myself, because if I would have still traded at the level I should have, I would have more than made up for it, and it would have been fine. That's called not trusting the statistics that we have. But it's also, you got to go and deal with what your brain and your emotions are, and know what your emotions are.
I've got a question now. You said that if you get that first win, you can be a little more selective. To me, it would be the opposite. If you got a loss first, then you'd really want to be picky about that next trade to make sure it's a winner. Maybe you can elaborate.
Yeah, and I understand where you're coming from on that, and there's a lot of truth to what you said. But what I find is that I'm more selective in the sense that, okay, I don't have to go and make a winning trade, so I don't have to take this trade. I've already got pips in the bank. I don't have to take the trade, and that's really what you should be doing on every trade. But the reality is, I also know myself, and when I do that, I just feel that, okay, that's okay. You know what? I've made some pips so far. I can relax a little bit for the rest of this hour. I can relax for maybe take next hour off or something. And that's what I mean by be more selective. I'm not under pressure. It's the type of thing where if I need to go and make 10 pips for the day and I'm up 6 pips or 7 pips already, it's the type of thing. Well, that's a good position to be in. I can go and relax a little bit and not be as hardcore in terms of trying to make my pips.
Okay, I understand now.
So it's a different, now I also understand what you're saying, because, the reality is when you are under the gun, you better make sure that the next trade you take is a good trade, and the thing is, but the problem with that mindset is that, it's sort of like, no matter, you could take the best trade in the world and still have it go against you. It can still run against you, and so I think what can happen there is you can go and put yourself into a bad position mentally.
Yeah, and that just begs another question. You said that you could take the best trade. Now, is that a hairy hindsight? Because wouldn't the best trade be the one where you enter the trade, you followed all your rules, your timing was spot on, and it worked out your way. But you're only going to know that after the fact.
Right. You're exactly right. Going your way, that part of it, you don't know. You have no clue as to whether that's going to go your way or not. So that really, to my mind, that doesn't play into the best trade. What plays into the best trade is, there are certain trades that I know that I win more often than not. And so what I'll do is I'll wait for only those trades to come across. So, for instance, we've been talking about this DSR a little bit here and there on the videos. This type of thing. There are certain DSR trades that I know are, more likely to go and win, and I'm willing to go and take those trades more than the other ones. If I'm in a winning position, or I'm sitting with some extra pips, well, what I'm willing to do is I'm going to wait for that particular trade to show up, and I may even go as far as to go and actually increase my risk size on it because I got some extra pips in the bank to do it, and that's how I usually play that.
Yeah. So, and the reason I started off asking you the question, about, paying your electric bill, was because I know when I walk into a casino and let's just say I got $200 I'm willing to lose. So I'll walk up to the roulette wheel and put my $200 down and ask for, $25 chips, and I'll put, I'll make a bet, and it'll be $50 bet. And if I win, and then if I make another $50 bet and I win, then I'm done. And when I play roulette, I either play the columns or the red and black. I'm not putting $50 on a number. Because if I hit one number with $50 on it, I'd be walking out of the casino, that's for sure. So, but it's like, and if I happen to lose 4 times in a row, there goes my 200. It's like, oh, well, win some, lose some. But if that was money I needed to pay my light bill or electric bill or, put gas in the car or, food on the table, it's a whole lot different. That's when you get super selective, at least for me.
Well, you're exactly right. And that's sort of like I was alluding to in the beginning, in the very, very beginning of when I went full time, the reality was, okay, this is where the rubber's going to meet the road. This is it. Okay, Junior, you got to go and perform here. And a lot of times I was putting undue pressure on myself. And what was happening is that a lot of times where, I was profitable, but I was actually limiting my profits sometimes because I would get out of trades a little bit too early sometimes, or I wouldn't take trades because I was afraid to push the button sometimes. And that's just the reality. And as, the statistics went and told me this will work. But then when you sat down and, when I went and did it and built it up, it was like, hey, these statistics do work. Felt a little bit more confident. But then on that day when I pulled the trigger and said, I'm doing this full time, it was, one of those things where we call a white knuckle day, you're holding onto the rail so tight that your knuckles are turning white, because it's now real.
Yeah. And I think there was a trader, I believe out on the Facebook group, they said that, before they were kind of poo-pooing us talking about psychology and brain management. And then I guess the light bulb went off and they said now they understand how important it is.
Oh, it's the most important thing there is in trading. I've said this before. It's more important than your method. And it's funny because most traders out there, what they're doing is they're going out onto the websites, they're going, to all the different forums, checking YouTube out, and what are they looking for?
A method.
They're looking for a method. That's exactly right. And, the method's important. Don't get me wrong. But if you put, the method next to your psychology, and you list them and you say 1 to 10, 1 being least important, 10 being most important, method is like 5 and psychology is 10, if it's not 20 on a 10 scale.
Well, see, I kind of look at it a little bit differently. I look at it more like a 3-legged stool where, the trade is one leg and the method's another leg. And if either one of those legs is short, that stool's going to not stand up for very long if you sit on it.
Right.
You're going to hit the ground. So
you're exactly right. You're exactly right with that. I add the third leg on that. Now go and say that your trading plan, which is your exit strategy and everything else, plays in there. And you need to have all three of those in place, because if you don't have all three in place, you're going down. You're going down hard.
well, I would say it's more money management, because the method and the plan, I think, kind of go hand in hand, because depending on the method, your plan might be slightly different. I guess
Right.
it depends on how you define plan, how you define method, because
Right.
to me, the money slash risk management is separate. You have that, you have your psychology, then you put the method in. So that's my three-legged stool. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and that's what it's very similar to mine. We probably define it a little bit differently, but you need to have all those components in there. And it's you have to have them all firing. You think about an engine. You think about you get yourself a 3-cylinder engine, and if one of your cylinders isn't firing the way it's supposed to be firing, you may be getting down the road, but you're not getting anywhere fast, and you may be walking.
Yeah, and you're wasting gasoline and polluting the environment and blah blah blah.
all types of stuff.
So, back to placing your bets. I mean, once again, the thing that made me start this series this week is that I thought of trading. It's like taking the best aspects of trading and taking the best aspects of gambling, and you kind of combine the two, and I think it produces a less stress environment, because you've got these rules that you have to follow. You can't change the way blackjack is played in the middle of the game. It just doesn't work. And then you take, whoever sits down and puts their money up, you deal the cards. You don't change your mind. Oh, I don't want to deal to this guy, or I don't want to deal to that, person.
You're exactly. It's funny. Have you ever gone to a casino and watched the dealer behind the cards? Does he seem upset? Does she seem upset? Or is she just going and doing it? Well, the reason why there's no stress on them, one, first of all, it's not really their money. So that's a big thing off their mind. But just as important, I think, is the fact that they're given a set of rules, and they're not allowed to go and violate those rules. They have to go and play the cards exactly as the house has defined it for them. And so for that reason, there's no stress on them. They just go and do. They're mechanical robots at that point.
Yeah, well, there's a little stress because they don't want to make a mistake.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's the only stress they have. They don't have the stress of okay, what should I do here? There's no question about what you should do here. It's you do it. You just do it. The rule says do this. You do this. And, you had made your exit playbook thing, and this is how you exit out. And the one that you had made, where you had 10 steps, where you literally went and laid out, this is what I do if I'm up 1 pip. This is what I do if I'm up 2 pips, 3 pips, 5 pips. In some ways, that's a very, very good thing to have, because then if you have that in front of you and you've memorized it, not only memorized it, but you made it yours, it's the type of thing, I'm up X pips. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm down X pips. I know exactly what I'm going to do. And it doesn't have, I'm basing this on going up and down pips, but you can change that around a little bit. If I get to this level, I'm out. If I get to this level, I'm going to go and see if I can follow on. And you just make those rules, and you just follow the rules, and you become mechanical that way.
Yeah. And fellow traders, as usual, the fastest 15 minutes in trading is over. But I hope this series has helped you. Let us know in the comments, either here on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook group, because maybe there's some other things you might want us to dive into. In fact, I know there was one trader out there, I'm not going to say their name, but out on the Facebook group, they put in a minor dissertation because I guess they're still having a little problems with the Walmal method. But just remember, fellow traders, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is TheRumpledOne, over and out.